a really interesting episode. We are speaking to a woman who has had a baby with another man, but is raising that child with her husband, who does not know that it's not his child. So I think there's a lot to unpack here. Kind of really eager to get into this one. But we have the guest on the line, so thank you for joining us today, and sharing this story slash secret with us.
Hey, I'm very nervous. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, so I do have a baby with another man, and my husband does not know. He actually, we've been together over 7 years, and he had a reversal because he had a vasectomy from his previous ex. So he had a reversal so we could try and have a baby. And so long story short, he thinks that this child's his baby, and that's not really short, but there's a lot behind it.
Yeah. So, how old is the child now?
She's about 8 months.
Okay, so pretty recent.
Yes, pretty recent, very recent. I have known the guy I have been that I've had the child with. I've known him for over 14 years. Went to high school with the guy, and kind of just, I don't know, ran into him, and then kind of hit it off, I guess, and went from there. And we had been doing this for about 2.5 years now, the whole behind my husband's back. But the crazy part to it is how I feel is my husband is okay if I have sex with another man. And that's even, like I said, crazier. But
Right there, the husband's a simp. Right there, the husband's a simp. All this kinky swinger, polygamy, like, or what is it for women? It's polyamorous. Um, this is a recipe for disaster. He was being a simp. He a simp. When I saw the title, I thought I could be on his side and defend him. But he a simp.
he was I told him about it, but I didn't tell him that it was his child. I didn't tell him that I had done it more than once. I told him I did it once, and that was it. And I know what I've done is completely wrong, but I definitely don't regret it. Like I said, my husband had the vasectomy, and then he had the reversal, and we were trying for a long time to have a baby. And for this to happen, it was almost a blessing, but also terrible in a wrong sense, for sure.
So you clearly know this man. Obviously, you said you know him for 14 years. So you said this is what you've been doing now for 2.5 years. So this is something that you still kind of do, like you still kind of, are essentially having affair in what seems to be an open relationship.
Somewhat, yes. I, my husband doesn't know about it continuing to happen, but I last week actually this other guy he confessed feelings, and I told him I said I'm not interested in that. I'm married. I'm happy. I just look for a little side D, and that's about it. But that's all I want from that situation. And I mean, and I haven't heard from him since then because I told him how I felt about that.
So do you have like a plan, like moving forward? Just kind of like, when did you decide like I'm going to keep this a secret? I'm not going to say anything because I mean, you said that your husband is okay with you having sex with other people,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously when people are engaged in that sort of thing, accidental pregnancies happen. Do you think that he would be just absolutely crushed by this, or what is the reason why you want to hide it?
The reason I want to hide it is because I think he would be crushed by it. He makes jokes all the time about, oh my gosh, it's so and so's baby, it's this and that, jokes around. But I think it would hurt his pride more than anything. Um, and I don't know how to word it, I guess, to him is the hard part.
Do you ever plan on telling him, like even down the line, or is it a sort of now or never
I
thing?
think it's more of a now or never. I should, but I have yet to do it. But if it doesn't happen now, then eventually I think I will tell him, just because he deserves to know. He's a good guy and he is okay with everything that's been going on. So
Does the guy who does the father know that it's his baby?
we don't know for a fact, but I've compared pictures to previous children he's had. He's had 2 other kids, and one of them looks so similar to the one that I have. And I asked him if I could do like a paternity test, like at home, and he was okay with that completely. But like I said, I haven't made contact with him since everything went down, and he said he had feelings.
So you don't know for like an absolute fact that this is actually not your husband's.
Um, I say I don't know, but like I said, my husband had a reversal, and then we tried for over 3 years to have a baby, and it never worked. And then I was sleeping with this guy, and boom, baby.
Yeah, odds are you're probably right about that.
And they look very
Wow.
similar.
Why didn't she have the guy wear a condom? Why didn't she go on the pill? Something. You know, you're in an open relationship. All right.
So
If you waited, how do you think he would react down the line? Say it was, years from now where time has passed and he's raising this child as his own, and then, you were to tell him that, because, I wouldn't say I'm on the brink of fatherhood, but I think it's something in the near future, and it's almost hard to comprehend getting that news after, so much time would have passed of raising this child of my own. Do you think that would, you said damage his pride, but do you think it would, hurt him beyond that?
I think it would hurt him beyond that a little bit if I told him later. If I told him now, it may not be as difficult for him to take that information.
Yeah, because also at a certain point, the kid's gonna have to find out who his real father is as well.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah, if you never told your husband, I guess if you, at some point, if you wanted the kid to know who his real father was, does it cross your mind that maybe you would just kind of keep this secret forever, with your husband and the kid, just kind of assuming that they're father and son?
I mean, it has crossed my mind that I would never say anything to either one of them. And it might be easier to do that, but I'm hard-headed. I don't like to do things the easy way. So I think that I would eventually go ahead and just tell them both in the long run. I think I would tell him first, of course, but to tell the child would be even harder, I think, unless my husband was involved in that conversation.
Yeah, it almost kind of feels like now, like because they're super young, it would be almost easier to do it sooner rather than later, because once they're old enough to kind of realize that something went on, it could, get a.
She says she's hard headed, and yeah, she's pretty hard headed. She should have told him the minute this happened, because this is, she's not gonna turn down, the husband buying things for a child that's not his. That's the strange part. She's not going to turn down that the husband buying things for a child that is not his, and she's really just looking out for herself. This is sad to say. This is why you have red pillars and MGTOW and manosphere people saying marriage is a bad deal. Not to get married, because look what's happening. But again, this dude is a simp. The husband, who's okay for an open marriage.
A little more difficult in that way.
You're correct. I feel like describing the situation with the open relationship. I mean, it may be easier nowadays than it would be in the past to be like, hey, your mom and dad were in an open relationship. This is what happened here.
Right. Was that, I'm curious about that too. Was that kind of from the start of your relationship, just something that you both agreed on, to be in open relationships?
It was not. He doesn't want to be with anybody else. I didn't for a while, and I did cheat on him in the past. And then once he found out, he was like, okay, well, we came to the conclusion, just do what you need to do as long as you come home to me, is the
Gotcha.
type of situation it was.
Right.
How far along into your relationship did that occur?
We have been together for about 7 years, and we've been doing this for about 3.
Okay.
Is there fear that the truth would come out in the near future, even if you weren't kind of prepared to say, or you didn't want it to come out, whether it's, maybe the other man getting in contact with your husband, kind of having his own suspicions or anything like that?
Yes, I'm terrified of somebody else telling him before me. So that's why I have told him about the other man. Like I said, it's been open, but I get nervous about it, telling him, hey, I've done this. And he's like, I told him about it. And he's like, I'm okay. Everything's fine. But for it to just be like, hey, this is not your baby, or at least I don't know if it's your baby or not, it's a different conversation for sure.
Is there a reason why you haven't done the test yet to find out?
I just haven't. I've been super busy with all this craziness going on and everything. I just have not done it yet. And it took me a little while to ask the other guy if he would do it, because I was nervous to be like, hey, is this your child?
Oh, right. You need him involved too to even do the test.
Kind of have to have his consent.
That's got to be scary too, because if you do confirm.
My thing is this. I mean, you have to hurry up and do this. Why are you waiting while you accumulate stuff that's being bought for this baby by the husband? Why are you not? I don't think she's going to go and tell her husband because she wants to value the relationship. She knows she got it good. She got a man paying for the kid that ain't his, and another man she could always, if he's still interested, to get some side D. So she's getting best of both worlds.
What you assume is true, and now he knows for a fact this is his child. That's got to be scary too, for the reason I just said, of him maybe wanting the child in his life right away, contacting your husband or something like that. Do you think that's one of the reasons you're putting off the test as well?
I think so. I mean, he has seen the child, the other guy, because we have met at my house and everything, because my husband used to work nights. And he came here and saw the child and held her and everything. And it's kind of crazy, and that's what makes me really nervous. I mean, I'm not going to be opposed if he wants to be involved, because I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but 2 dads are better than none. But
I was actually going to ask that question, if it came back that the child was this side dude, would you kind of work out a situation where he would be in the child's life, and like, would he be sort of like a side father and your husband would be like the main guardian of the child, or like how would that work?
I would make my husband definitely the guardian. I would get the side guy. I would ask him what he wanted, and if anything, I mean, he could be, uncle, whatever,
Well, why not give the kid to the father? Give the kid to the father, and maybe you and your husband could still have a marriage. Why would you do that? See, she's getting best of the both worlds. She thinks she's the one in control. She likes it this way. It's not an ounce of, I'm going to tell him, and whatever he wants, I'll understand. And if he wants to be with me, but he wants me to give the child to the father, I'll understand. None of that. She wants to hold all the cards.
But I don't know if I would ever. I don't know if I could tell my child that, hey, this is both your dads. I don't know.
You can't, because the sperm came from one guy. It's one of those dudes. You don't have both dads. See, she's playing it up that the husband will have feelings for the kid. So when she tells him the truth, it'll be hard for him to leave. because you'd be connected to the child. That's what she wants. Sick game, sick game. And you're going to punish the biological father in some way.
Wow. This is. I do want to say before we even move forward, a lot of people I think have secrets, maybe have things they're not proud of, things that only they know. This is the type of thing they make movies about. Like this is a big secret. But I do want to say, thank you for just even sharing this with us, because I just hearing this and thinking about what the future might hold, and just how to logistically handle this. I'm sure it's a lot to think about on a day-to-day basis, and I'm sure this is a conversation that is going to elicit an emotional response from listeners, from the audience. But I think it's important to start kind of the dialogue, and just a thank you, because like all our guests, it does take courage to share something like this and put it out there, because this is definitely something I think a lot of people would keep secret.
Most definitely. It's definitely hard.
Yeah, no, it's what makes the show.
Just imagine the fact that this man will be taking the daughter out to get her hair done and teaching her how to read, teaching her how to write. Her first recital. Then all of a sudden one day to hear that this is not his kid.
Go on. But yeah, do you think that there's a chance, like I'm trying to think of a situation that could really make someone act out of character, and I'm almost trying to put myself in your husband's shoes, where if I were to learn this information, I just don't know how I would react. And do you think there's a chance that he would not want to raise the baby anymore, even though he's been raising it for some time?
I don't think so, because he's already a good dad. I have several stepchildren already, and we have them jointly, and he takes such good care of them. He takes such good care of her, and I think even if I told him, he would still be there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it would have an effect on your marriage?
Maybe for a little while, but after the whole cheated on him in the past thing, it took a little while for us to get back on track, and we definitely did get back on track, and everything, was normal and it was perfect. And even with her and after her, it's been just great.
So you mentioned that, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was just going to say that you mentioned that you have other stepchildren. Those are not.
The funny thing is, like, she thinks that the marriage will survive this. The first time, it was hard for him. The second time, I do not think so. I don't think so. She thinks this is going to be, she's holding all the cards. Like I said, she thinks she's holding all the cards. She thinks this is going to stay through thick and thin. Not all marriages could survive affairs. Not all marriages could survive, especially a second one. Not really a second affair, because he was okay with her having open relations with other men. But the fact that you didn't tell him that you got pregnant by another man, and then you not telling him that the baby isn't his, you just going to decide when and where and when you feel you're going to tell this man, your husband, this baby isn't his. Yeah, this is not going to go well.
Children that you had with him?
No, they're his children from previous marriage.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And like I said, he had the vasectomy and then had a reversal so we could try and have kids. And I like to mention it because I feel like she's a blessing, even though she may, or I'm pretty sure she's not his. Like, I'm almost 100% positive she's not his. But she's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
She's a blessing for you. It's like you wanted this. You wanted this kid. Not him. You. I was talking to a friend of mine and about vasectomies, and he was saying that women get mad when men get vasectomies because they can't get child support, or they can't go out there and, cheat. And then when they get a baby out of it, they could always say it's the husband's or the boyfriend's, when it's really the side dude. Starting to believe him.
it's a rough sort of situation.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you said that you haven't really spoken to this guy on the side in a while. How long has it been?
It's been about 2 weeks.
And do you think that you're gonna have to kind of get on good terms, because we're gonna have to reach out and find out whose kid this is?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna reach back out. Like I said, the whole wanting to have a relationship. I mean, after having a kid with him, there are feelings there, of course, because you're kind of like, whoa, I just had a kid with this person. I mean, that's it's a big deal. So I think that there will be some involvement eventually. And I mean, I do have feelings for him. I don't know what kind of feelings they are, just because it's still new. But I do think I'll reach out eventually and be like, hey, let's just do this test just to know.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that emotional aspect of it, where if this is the father, there's still that emotional tie of now we have a baby together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what, because before any of it happened, like the whole having a baby together, there was definitely no affection there. At least there's no emotional ties. And now there's a couple, and that's why I'm trying to keep my distance.
Do you think there is a situation that plays out where your current husband's like, I can't do this, and just kind of walks away from the whole thing, and then you start a new relationship with this side guy?
That is the point. That will probably be a reality. She's not even thinking about that, and he's putting it out there.
Maybe. I mean, it's not what I want, because I don't see myself with the side guy. His personality and mine would definitely clash. But my husband, he may get tired of it. So I may be a single mom, which is fine too. It happens daily. So
I want to know if she's going to try and hit the husband up for child support. That's what I want to know. Are you going to hit the side dude up for child support? Or are you going to hit the husband with child support? That's what I want to know. I want to know that. What is she? Who's getting hit with child support? That's what I want to know.
I guess, being completely honest, do you know what the sort of ideal outcome would be for you if this could all play out in the future, exactly the way you wanted? What would that look like?
I mean, I would love to tell my husband, most definitely. And I would love to definitely get the test and just to verify. And I would not mind being the child being in both of their lives. I mean, if it's here and there, doesn't have to be every other weekend or every weekend like, most kids are, but I wouldn't mind being.
This is the problem. She is very selfish. It is all about her. And the guys, they could be both dads, and one could see him on the weekend, the other one could see him on another weekend. They can alternate, and we'll all be a happy family. This is what she's saying. This is what she's implying. This is what you could get from her vibe. This is what she wants. And she's not saying it, but she's implying it. She's already putting it out there that I have this on my terms. I have the husband I really want to be with, and the side dude I wanted a baby. I got a baby from. The side dude was just a sperm donor, and I'm still going to keep my husband like he's some sort of accessory and toy. She's living in a fantasy world, like a little girl, playing in her dollhouse. I get to do whatever I want, and I'm calling the shots here. Some tells me this dude walks away, the husband, he is going to be hit with child support. Some way, somehow, he's going to be paying child support. Some way, somehow, she's going to make him pay. Because he is not fitting as the Ken doll in her Barbie house.
Both guys being involved is my thing.
Yeah, because I was gonna say also, like, that's why I mentioned earlier that since the child is so young, there is a situation where you can, at least until the child's older, you can say that this is your father, but things didn't work out between us, so this is your stepfather, which is your actual husband. So that kind of situation. I mean, I don't even know if that's the right thing to do. Like, obviously, don't take advice from me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but that is something to consider also. I think the earlier the better, because then the child doesn't have to deal with, like, later on in life just kind of being confused, I guess.
Right. No, that definitely makes a lot of sense, what you just said. Like, it would be easier to be like, oh, maybe he was my high school sweetheart or something. I mean, I did go to high school with the kids, but it happened a little later after high school, obviously. But
on a personal level, how do you manage this, sort of on a day-to-day basis? Like, I know personally, I'm someone who, if there's something kind of eating at me, something unresolved, like I really will lose sleep over it. I'll just kind of not feel right, not be able to function properly. So how do you kind of, I guess, rationalize all this and just, go through each day?
Well, I vent to one friend, and she actually knows the side guy, and she has been such a great emotional support through all of it, no matter what. But other than that, I drink sometimes, and I know that's probably not the right way to go to, but I definitely lose sleep over it. But I talk a lot to my friend, even whenever it's hard, because she understands, and I don't know why she understands, but she listens to me, and she's there through it all.
Also, we've never asked a guest this, but why talk to us? Like, is this kind of a form of venting also, kind of knowing that so many strangers are going to hear this story?
Yes, definitely. I definitely feel a little better. I mean, I know it's still anonymous, but like, I'm almost in tears just thinking about it, and it just feels better to let people know that it happened and that it's there. And
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that, just to your point of, talking to us and talking to your friend, like, even though it's not out there.
This is the thing, though. I mean, the more people who find out about this, eventually it will get back to her husband. This is what she's not saying. She better keep her circle small, because eventually this will get back to her husband. It will. That's what I have to say about it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this more. You can see that, this is something that is eventually is going to come out, and it's going to get very, very ugly. Tremendously huge disaster waiting for her. That's what's waiting for a big disaster, an ugly divorce. And this is it's not going to end well. It isn't. It's not. 100-yard alchemist entered the live studio. Is this Jerry Springer reloaded? Oh God. Yeah, man. This is I wouldn't call it Jerry Springer, but it's real life. I so many scandals, so many family secrets like this. All I could say is this is crazy. Let's see. Elijah Weepie. What's up? This is this is pretty much going to be a very hard situation for that child and for that husband. But the husband is a simp. You know, he's a simp. He was for an open marriage. And what do you think was going to happen? Okay. What do you think was going to happen? This is what could happen. And the problem is she's not going to talk about it because she's benefiting from both of these men. She has a little Ken doll house. Okay. Ken is the husband and the side dude is the mailman. Dropping off the mail. Dropping off the packages. You know, and the wife makes sure she gets all the packages. Every last one. It's sad. It's really sad. It is. And the victim here is that child. This sounds like a dysfunctional sitcom. It really does. All right. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. YouTube channel is Hard Talk Radio. You can check me out there. You also check me out on anchor.fm. All right. Later.